Good morning, boys. I would like each one of you to record yourself reading the Gemara. And I'm going to read with you right now, and especially the way you see it on the screen, you see how everything's highlighted in different colors. And I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to explain to you and show you how I want to hear it from you. So when there's a question, I want you to introduce a question. When there's an answer, I want you to introduce an answer. When there's a support, I want you to introduce a support. If it's a quote from a Mishnah, I want you to tell me the Mishnah stated such and such, as I will show you an example right now. Zeh haklal. The Mishnah tells us this is a principle that any melacha that lasts forever, melachta miskayemes, then you're going to be chayiv to bring a karban if you did it on purpose and you were warned and you didn't stop doing it. So Gemara says, Zeh haklal la'asuyei mai. The Gemara is asking, the Mishnah tells us this is a principle. Why do you have to tell me the words, this is a principle? Just tell me the rule. The fact that you're telling me there's a principle behind this, la'asuyei mai, what is it including? The Gemara answers, la'asuyei, it's including doichek, if someone hollowed out, kapiza bikaba, a small hole in a place where he intended to make a bigger hole. So he didn't finish the job yet, but he stopped. Are you chayiv if you didn't complete the job you intended to do, even though it's a smaller hole? And this is the chiddush of our Mishnah. Zeh haklal, this is a principle, even if you only made the hole the size of a kapiza, which is about the size of 18 eggs. When you intended to make the hole the size of a kaba, the size of like 24 eggs, you intended to make a hole of 24 eggs. You only did 18, and still you are chayiv. The next piece of Gemara is quoting again from the Mishnah. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel says in the Mishnah, Hamaka bekurnas al hasadon, if you hit with a hammer over the anvil, even though you're not hitting anything, you're not forming anything else, you're just hitting on the anvil itself, you're going to be chayiv. So the Gemara asks the question, Mai ka'avid, what is he doing that he should be chayiv? He's not hitting anything. So the Gemara answers, Rabba v'Rabbi Yosef da Amri Tarvaihu, both Rabba and Rabbi Yosef say, Mipinei, because Sheme'amein es yadai, he is training his hand. The training his hand, according to Rabba and Rabbi Yosef, is good enough to be chayiv, to bring a karban if you were warned and you didn't stop doing this on Shabbos. So the Gemara asks a question, Kashuba b'nei Rachava, the children of Rachava found this difficult and asked, Ella me'ata, rather now, Chaza, if you just see and watch, Umnasa b'Shabbata, a profession being done on Shabbos. For example, you watch someone sew a pair of pants on Shabbos, and you're learning how the stitches were made. V'gamar, and you are learning from it, but you're not doing anything. You're just learning by looking at it. Hachinami dimechayev. Over here also, are you chayev? The Gemara answers, Ella. Rather, before they answer, the Gemara is saying that no, by looking, you cannot be mechayev. You cannot be chayev by being trained. That's not good enough. So they knock off Rabba and Rabbi Yosef's answer. Instead, Ella Abaya v'Rava, the Amri Tarvayu, Abaya and Rava both say, the reason why you're chayev for hitting the hammer on the anvil, shekain, because indeed, miradide tasei mishkan oisim kain. The pounding of the thin gold that they made for the Mishkan, they used to do this. It was part of the malacha to hit the anvil a few times and then hit the sheet of gold. And because this is the way it was done as a melacha, you're not training, you're actually doing the melacha. And that's why hitting a hammer and an anvil is unique. And you're chayiv not because you're training, but because this is part of the melacha according to Abaya and Rav. Tanya nami hachi. We have a brisa also as such, explaining as follows. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel says, Afa makir bekunis al hasadan, even someone who hits a hammer on the anvil, bishas melacha, during the time of doing work, then you're mechayev. Because it's a time that you're doing work, it's mechayev, not that you're training. Shekei miradadei tasei mishkan oisim came. Because indeed, the pounding of the gold sheets for the Mishkan, Oisim came, they would do this. And this is a support for the Abaya and Rava's answer. This is how I'd like you to read the Gemara. If you have any questions, please ask.